We are absolutely failing to see how embedded we are in nature and how much we have to step up to being true stewards of nature. And we tend to compartmentalise things in the way we think about our economy, and particularly in finance, in a way that really is very, very counterproductive potentially. And we need to get over that. Finance is this man-made system, but it exists inside an ecological system. And we haven't seen how conjoined the two are. And we need to get that right. And when we get that right, we'll start to act in our own collective self-interest as a human community. Every decision made in the finance industry results in real-world impacts of some nature in nature. The finance system has the ability to dial up the positive and drastically dial down the negative impacts of every decision made, whether it's financing the fashion industry, or financing the energy sector, or financing our food system. These are all capable of being done in ways that are more regenerative. Far too much of the time, there's just a blindness to the environmental degradation that results from the way we do business and the way we're financing activity. That's the change we need to bring about. That finance is conscious of its impact, tracking its impact, and has actually got a mandate to invest and finance activity that's regenerative rather than destructive. There's big change afoot in the investment system, and people that work in it are moving rapidly to recognise all the dynamics we've been talking about. One of the reasons that's happening is that the ordinary client of the investment sector, people with a little bit of savings or people saving for retirement, are demanding far more. They're asking good questions about how their money is being deployed. Yes, they want a great investment return, but they also want to ensure that their money isn't destroying the future stability of the planet, or things that people value hugely in nature, such as species loss. We do not want to see our money put to work in that way. And so there's a big new emphasis demanding a very different way of investing money. The great thing about sustainable investing is it's also very financially smart investing, partly because it's really a hiding to nothing, financially speaking, to have your money, for example, in coal-fired power plants or in destructive forms of economic activity. And at the same time, because we need to make such a dramatic transformation, for example, in the energy system, there are massive upside opportunities. There is a lot of greenwashing in the market. And that both reflects the fact that people are looking for something clean and green when they invest now, and yet the industry is not authentically there yet, but it will get there. And we have to be very, very tough, actually, on calling out greenwashing, and at the same time, not allow that to be a process in which the finance industry sort of gives up on the green mission. ESG stands for environmental, social and governance. And ESG captures, or tries to capture, the idea that we really think about the risks, the financial risks arising from neglecting to look at the impact we make on the environment and on society when we make financial decisions. So it's great, ESG is great, but it's quite narrowly conceived at the moment as just thinking about how, for example, climate catastrophe might reduce our returns in our portfolios, whereas what we need to do is turn that all around and say, how are our portfolios helping to destroy much that is valuable to all of us, and how can we ensure that the finance system is thinking in every decision it makes about the impact on the natural world. I do think there will be a different set of skills required in finance that are much more aligned with an understanding of the impacts that finance has, instead of just operating in a profit-driven, silo-driven, narrow way. And I also think that to bring that about, we will see a finance sector that looks rather different from the one today. It will be far more diverse in terms of the people and skills needed in it. Finance is a very pale, male and stale industry, unfortunately, still today. And I think that ultimately, to bring about the kind of transformation we need for a finance system that truly serves society, we will need a finance industry that better reflects the society it serves.